y'all, Martha here. I thought I would come on today and share with you my 10 most loved and used art, mixed media art and collage supplies. They're the ones I use all the time, and not just the fancy stuff, that everybody's always going to branch out and get some other supplies, but these are the ones I rely on the most. Some of them are a little quirky, but that's what makes my art process work. And if you stay to the end, I've got one more bonus that I can share. Okay, as you can see at this pile here, I have some fabric pieces, some laces, and some ribbons, and even some trims like bric-a-brac. Is it bric-a-brac? Ric-rac. I always get that confused. I think it's ric-rac. But I love using that kind of stuff in my mixed media art, my collage. Most of the time I will use fabric, like on an art journal cover or a junk journal, but I have been known to use it in collage too in my art journal, so nothing's off limits. I love all these because they add texture, they add charm, they add a little something different. And I have notes here, y'all, so I'm trying not to read them. I'm just trying to glance at them and so I wouldn't forget anything. Okay, let's scooch these out of the way. And I will show you number 9 on the list. Now, these items are not necessarily in order of preference. It's just, I think I like them all equally the same. Maybe, I'm not sure. But the next one is small round tip paintbrushes, size 8 and under. The black ones came from Amazon, and they're called Transon, I think. And this one came from Walmart. I can't read this. If there's a number on it, I can't read it, but it's really tiny. I like the really sharp tips, and the black ones are like detail. They're all detail brushes, and I always have some on hand to use, and I'm always looking for a new and better brand. I love these for getting into little tiny spots, and I also work better with a smaller brush than I do a big giant one, unless it's just the background, Okay, now the links to several of these items are in the description. It's my Amazon affiliate page, Amazon affiliate links. So if you tap on them and decide to purchase them, check them out. I might get a little small commission off of it, so check them out. These are in the description, and so is these ribbons. These, you get 36 colors for $15, and I bought them. I love them, and probably won't ever have to buy any other ribbon unless I want a wider size. I think these are 1/2 inch or something like that. Let's see, what else? Number 8 is matte medium. And it's not a glamorous supply, but it's essential. I use matte medium to seal, layer, and collage without shine. I use it as a glue when I'm doing a lot of collage work. I used to use always Liquitex, but it just got so expensive. I started searching around for something else, and there's a small bottle you can get. Well, it's more of a jar at Hobby Lobby called Master's Touch, and I like it, but you don't get enough, I don't think. But I got this huge bottle. It's called Handy Art Designers something. but it's acrylic medium, and I think I like it maybe better than the other two I've tried, because it's like the right amount of thickness and runniness, you know, like some of them are too thick for me and some of them are too thin. So I think this just works just as good, and I will link this in the description as well. Let me set that out of the way. And the next one is Mod Podge Matte. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. I know a lot of people hate Mod Podge. I love to hate on Mod Podge, but I use it and I love it, especially on the art pieces I do on a canvas, or on the bigger pieces I want to sell or gift. I think it adds a really nice finished texture. It makes the piece feel more unified and professional, and it just feels so good to touch. I don't know, it just looks right to me. So as you can see, it's well loved, well used. Okay, what else we got? That was number 7. I don't know if I've been saying the numbers, but the next one is, let me pull it out over here. Posca Pens. I love me some Posca Pens, and they're pretty well loved and used too, as you can see. And my 2 favorite sizes are the fine, let's see, I think this is the fine and medium, but anyway, they both will be linked. There are different sizes. This one is a, I can't read, oh, this one's a 5. So my 2 preferred sizes are the 1M and the 3M, and they will be linked in the description. This is a bigger size, and it comes in handy too, but I like the smaller ones most, even though I use the bigger ones sometimes too. I use them to add pops of color, I outline, I get into, can do details that I have a hard time doing with the brushes. It's just easier on me. So, Posca Pens, number 6, one of my essentials. Okay, the next one. Let's pull some of this stuff out so you can get a little better look at it. I love me some glitter. I love me some gems and cabochons. Sparkly, some of them shiny, but they usually got something in common with whatever I'm doing, or maybe they just look good. I love these little flowers. I consider them, I don't know, embellishments or cabochons, but at least gems, because it's got a gem in the middle. These come from Hobby Lobby. I use those a lot. I have these little bottles of glitter. I have a lot of colors of glitter, which I did not get on Amazon. Now this one is Mod Podge also. This is, you can get it where it's not quite so, like when you use this one, it's really busy. There's a couple that are not quite so busy. This one is the Extreme Glitter, I believe. But anyway, it adds a really beautiful glitter. Always, like, you can use this to seal your piece, add a little touch. One of my favorite ways to add glitter is to use those little, what are they called? I forgot to drag one of those out. Stickles, that's what they're called. I can't get one really fast, but I love those too. Those are simple, fast, and easy. I definitely use too many gems and glitter sometimes. I get carried away and go overboard. But to me, that's part of the fun. If it sparkles, it's going down because I love it. And it adds such a pretty touch. But let me show you an example here. This is a painting I did. And I think it has everything that I've mentioned so far except for the fabric and lace and stuff. There's a cabochon with a ladybug. There's a bunch of little gems everywhere. We've got little yellow gems. We have stickles, which is glitter here on my wings. I drew this little bee and this flower separately and used Posca pens to color them in. And glued them on, so there is the cardstock element. I'm sure I used some of my detail brushes. I am sure some of this outlining is probably the next item, which I have not shared. Is it the yes, it is the next item. But this is one of the pieces I like to do, and it is sealed. The elements were put down with the matte medium, and it was sealed with Mod Podge. So there you have one of my pieces that I did. Okay, so the next one on our list, sorry, I'm still trying to get through the list, is, oh, it's not the next thing on the list, but it's one of the next things on the list. Cardstock and scrapbook paper. Now there is not a link for these in the description because you can get these practically anywhere. Most of these probably came from Michael's, but I use about any color. White usually is the best, like if you're drawing and cutting out an image. And I like I believe these is the, I think it's the 60 pound, so it's a little thick but not too thick. And so I love layering scrapbook paper and cardstock in my collages. I love the patterns and the colors. See, like this, you've got all of this. If you didn't want to use paint, you could just either just lay a piece down, or you could rip it up and make a collage with it. I don't know, all the patterns and the colors, they add depth and texture. That'll make my work and your work unique. You know, everybody won't be the same, but that's just an example. And you can get them in smaller sizes, 6x6, I think 8x6. They even have some at the Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think they're 6x6, but they're more like, well, you can get the scrapbook paper and the cardstock there. I don't think I've seen much of it at my Dollar Tree, but I've seen people hauling it. So yeah, you might be able to get it. And I don't go to the Dollar Tree like I used to either, so that probably explains that. Now this is another item. That was number 4, the scrapbook paper and the cardstock. Number 3. Faber-Castell artist brush pens. I love these babies. I've had them a long time. They last a long time. I've only had to replace some one time. I love them for outlining and coloring and drawing. And you know, a great thing is you can use them to layer over or under acrylic paint to change the color, brighten up a color. And you can also use them instead of the acrylic paint if you like the color of it better than your paint. And it's easy, you know, the tip is really small, so it's really easy to get in and do a lot of details. That might be the wrong color to share. It's about the color of my towel. I hope you can see that, but it's a little brush tip, but it's not too bendy. It's just right. I love these. And if you do use them in a piece, a collage or an art piece, mixed media piece, they're not going to bleed. They're made out of India ink, and they're not going to smudge. You can put stuff under them and over them, and they're going to stay put. So I love these. I use these a lot. So that was number 3. Now what else have we got here? Okay, we have This is student grade Liquitex paint. It's called Liquitex Basics Acrylic. You can tell that's an old one because that's a different design, but it's still good. The last time I used it, I think I actually bought that when I was a student, maybe. They're affordable, they're blendable, and they're easy to find. They're my favorite paints to use, although I do have some other like craft paints I use occasionally. They're great for backgrounds, they're great for texture, they're great for, you know, your main image. They're just good all around. I think they're dependable. I like the thickness of them. They do the job. So yeah, I have a whole lot of these colors, and I'm always adding a new one because they get used up. I use them quite a bit. It's been like several months since I bought any though, but you can get them in this size. You could get a whole kind of like a case. I don't know how many's in it, but I think it's in the description as well at my affiliate links. And those are smaller. I believe that's the one that I linked. But you get a lot of colors. A little goes a long way, unless you're like me. I'm always slopping paint everywhere. So, my favorite paints. All right, let me share my favorite glue trio. Besides the Mod Podge and the matte medium. Where's my other one? There's another one here. These are my 3 go-tos. They cover all the needs. They work good with fabric, fine detail, and fast dry. And I feel confident when I use them that they have the staying power for whatever I'm putting down. I use this one most often for like glue booking or really thin paper. Use this one for fabric, sometimes gems and trims and heavy thick paper if I have that. And this one I use like for the fine details, as maybe you want to use it on. Sometimes the Fabri-Tac gets gloppy, so I'll use the art glitter glue for the gems. These are small gems, so it's easier to get in there. And there's just uses for there's a use for all 3 of them. So I use them all 3. I love this glue stick because it's Avery brand. All of these glues are in the description if you would like to go through my affiliate link. I like this brand Avery because it's really economical, and I like the purple glue because I have kind of low vision. It helps me see what I've done, and it sticks really well too so far. And if you forget and leave your lid off, it's so much easier to you spray it with some water and put the lid on, and then you can use it again a lot easier than you can like with Elmer's glue sticks, the purple ones. And it doesn't get as gloppy as those either. So these are my this is my favorite one so far. And let me see, that was number 1. I can't believe I got through all of that. But let's see. The bonus. Okay, now we're down to the bonus. Let me show you an example of how I used that. If I can find it really quick. Now, I did some collaging the other day. And I used it on all 3 of these cards around the edge. And then in this one, I even did a little bit of mark making. So, where'd it go? It is, I used It's called the Deco Color Premium Gold Pen. And it is my go-to gold pen. It's good for shiny accents, lines, doodles, mark making, borders, and it makes everything pop. It's a really nice shine. I like it better than the gold Posca Pens or any other one I have tried. I've tried 3 or 4 different ones, but this is my favorite. Okay, I think I have showed you everything on my list. All 10 items and my bonus. So, that's my list with a little bonus at the end. Tell me in the comments, what's your can't live without art supply? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you love. And I like to try new things, so you never know, I might give it a shot and change my whole outlook on everything. And if you want to see how I actually use all of these things that I've just shared with you, stay tuned. I'll be posting a mini-series next with each one getting its own spotlight. That ought to be fun. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.